PSG isn't just making transfers, they're making history. A 90,000-seat super stadium, the biggest in France, is on the way. But why leave Parc des Princes? Where will they build it? And what does this mean for the club's future? Paris Saint-Germain is making waves again, but this time it's not about a blockbuster signing or Champions League push. No, this is bigger. PSG is planning to build a brand new 90,000-seat stadium, a move that would make it the largest football venue in France and one of the most iconic in Europe. But hold on, what about Parc des Princes? The club's home since 1974, where legends have dazzled fans. PSG has spent decades building history in that stadium, so why are they suddenly looking to leave it behind? Well, it's not exactly by choice. PSG has been trying to buy Parc des Princes from the Paris City Council, hoping to expand and modernize it. But after years of negotiations and rejection, the club is saying, fine, we'll do it ourselves, and now they are going all in on a brand new super stadium. So, where will this massive new arena be built? How does it compare to football's legendary venues? And what does this mean for PSG's identity, their fans, and their future as a European powerhouse? This isn't just about a stadium, it's a bold statement, a high-stakes power move filled with money, politics, fan outrage, and one club's determination to control its own destiny. Let's break it all down. Before we dive in, let's talk about Parc des Princes. PSG is planning something huge, a brand new 90,000-seat stadium that would completely change the landscape of French football. But before we get into the details of this mega project, let's talk about what they're leaving behind, Parc des Princes. This isn't just any stadium. This place is history, passion, and identity all rolled into one. For nearly 50 years, Parc des Princes has been PSG's home, hosting legendary matches, dramatic comebacks, and unforgettable title celebrations. But now, PSG is walking away, and there's a very specific reason why. A stadium full of history. Parc des Princes has been around since 1972, and PSG officially made it their home in '74, but over the years it's built a reputation for being one of the most intimidating venues in all of European football. The atmosphere absolutely insane, with a capacity of just under 48,000 spectators. The fans are packed in tight, creating a wall of noise that makes life miserable if you're a visiting team. The memories, oh so endless. From last-minute winners to historic title celebrations, the stadium has seen it all. The location is absolutely perfect. Sitting right in the heart of Paris, it's accessible, iconic, and a Parisian landmark in its own right. For PSG fans, this place isn't just a stadium, it's home. But here's the twist. PSG doesn't even own it. Wait, so you're saying PSG doesn't own their own stadium? Yes, you heard that right. Despite being the biggest club in France, PSG has been renting Parc des Princes from the city of Paris for decades now. And in modern football, that's a bit of a problem. Owning a stadium means control over expansions, renovations, and revenue streams. Clubs like Real Madrid, Manchester United, and Bayern Munich make millions from their stadiums alone through naming rights, corporate boxes, and ticket sales. PSG, they don't get those benefits because the stadium's not theirs, so naturally they want to change that. PSG's attempt to buy Parc des Princes. For years, PSG's Qatari owners have been trying to buy the stadium outright. The plan? Expand it to 60,000 seats, upgrade the facilities, and turn it into a true European super stadium. They approached the city of Paris, negotiations started, and everything seemed to be moving in the right direction. But then, Paris said no. And not just a let's talk about it kind of no, a flat-out, non-negotiable, not-for-profit no. Parisian Mayor Anne Hidalgo even went on record saying Parc des Princes is not for sale at any price. And that, folks, is when things got messy. PSG's response: fine, we'll build our own. PSG's owners did not take that rejection lightly. They basically said, oh, you won't sell it to us? Fine. We'll just build something even bigger and better. And just like that, the Parc des Princes era was over. This isn't just about getting a bigger stadium. This is PSG making a power play. This is them saying, hey, we're not the biggest club in France, we're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and we need a stadium that proves all that. So, what's next? A 90,000-seat super stadium is coming, but where will they build it? And what does this mean for PSG's future? And how do the fans feel about leaving their historic home? Strap in, because this story is just getting started. What will PSG's 90,000-seat stadium actually look like? Alright, so PSG isn't just dreaming about a bigger stadium. They're planning to build an absolute giant, a football fortress that'll overshadow anything else in France. And when a club with Qatari billions wants to build something, you know they're not going for average. So, what do we know so far? Size and capacity. The biggest stadium in all of France. First things first, let's talk about the size. PSG's new stadium is set to hold a mind-blowing 90,000 fans. That's nearly double the size of Parc des Princes, which currently fits around 48,000. And here's the kicker. It would be the biggest football stadium in France, even bigger than the Stade de France, 81,000. It would rival legendary venues like Wembley and could even go head-to-head with Barcelona's Camp Nou, which is being expanded to 95,000 plus. In short, if this wouldn't just be the stadium in France, it would be one of the biggest and most elite in the whole of Europe. PSG's not playing around. They're going big because they want their home to be worthy of a European superclub. And of course, more seats means more ticket sales, more VIPs, and more money, something their Qatari owners are very, very interested in. Ultra-modern design and next-level technology. Now, we don't have the official blueprints yet, but let's be real. PSG isn't just about to build another stadium. They're going to make this thing look like it belongs in a sci-fi movie. Expect something that feels more like a futuristic football palace than a traditional stadium. What kind of next-level features can we expect? Futuristic architecture. Think sleek modern designs that make Parc des Princes look like an ancient ruin. A hybrid pitch system. Possibly a mix of natural grass and synthetic tech, ensuring perfect playing conditions year-round. A retractable roof? Not concerned, but PSG could go the high-tech route with a roof that opens and closes depending on weather. Insane fan zones. Massive plazas filled with giant screens, interactive displays, bars, restaurants, and entertainment areas. A place where fans can hang out before and after the match. Super VIP sections. PSG's owners love attracting football's elite. Expect ultra-luxury suites, private lounges, and the kind of hospitality designed for billionaires, celebrities, and royal families. A next-level sound and lighting system. Think LED shows before kickoff, synchronized crowd effects, and booming stadium audio. PSG wants to make every game feel like a high-energy spectacle. More than a stadium, a tourist magnet and money machine. Here's the thing, this isn't just about football. PSG's new stadium is going to be a full-blown entertainment hub. Expected to host concerts, international events, and even non-football sports. The stadium will probably have its own museum, shopping areas, and premium restaurants. Basically, PSG doesn't just want fans to come for 90 minutes, they want them to stay all day and spend their money. It's not just a stadium, it's a business empire wrapped in a futuristic football venue. And honestly, this thing is gonna be ridiculous in the absolute best way possible. Where will PSG build their mega stadium? Alright, PSG wants to build a 90,000-seat football fortress. Cool. But here's the thing, they need land, a lot of land, and finding the right spot? Yeah, not so easy. They can't just drop this stadium anywhere. It's gotta be big enough, close enough to Paris, and politically acceptable. Oh, and it can't take fans 3 hours to get there. So, where exactly is PSG looking? Potential locations for PSG's new stadium. There are a few rumored spots floating around, and each one comes with pros and cons. 1. St. Cloud. The space is there, but what about accessibility? St. Cloud's west of Paris, and the biggest selling point, plenty of space. If PSG builds there, they could go all out with their futuristic design and not worry about space constraints. Sounds perfect, right? Not so fast. Getting there is not easy. Public transport options are limited, and fans don't want to deal with long, painful commutes just to watch a game. Traffic would be a nightmare. Imagine 90,000 people trying to leave at the same time. Not fun. Locals might not be thrilled. Building a massive stadium in their backyard, not exactly a dream come true for residents. So, while St. Cloud's an option, it's not a guaranteed win. 2. Poissy. Close to PSG's training facility, but too far from the action? Poissy is another rumored location, and there's a big reason for that. It's near their training center. That means the club could have all their facilities in one place, creating a super complex. But here's the problem, it's way too far from Paris. Fans don't want to travel forever just to watch a home game, and the further you go from the city, the harder it is to create that electric matchday atmosphere. Poissy might work for a training ground, but for a massive stadium, not ideal. 3. The wildcard option. Could PSG surprise everyone? Here's where things get interesting. PSG could pick a completely unexpected location. Maybe they find a way to stay in Paris by securing a site no one saw coming. Maybe they cut a deal with a private landowner. Or maybe, just maybe, they find a way to bulldoze through the red tape and get approval in a prime spot. Because let's be real, PSG's owners have deep pockets. If they want something badly enough, they'll pull every political and financial lever to make it happen. The biggest challenge: politics and negotiations. Here's the real issue. Finding land in Paris is like finding a unicorn. The city isn't exactly excited about PSG building a huge private stadium that could compete with the Stade de France. Politicians might block the project to protect state-owned venues. Local communities could protest against noise, traffic, and disruption. And then there's the bureaucratic nightmare of getting all the right permits. So, while PSG is determined to build their dream stadium, expect negotiations, legal battles, and delays before we see this become a reality. Where will they end up? That's the billion-euro question. How much will PSG's super stadium cost? Alright, let's get one thing straight. Building a 90,000-seat football fortress in Paris, yeah, that's not coming cheap. We're not talking about a simple renovation or a little expansion. PSG is going all in on a billion-euro mega project that could change the club forever. So, how much cash are they going to drop on this thing? Let's break it down. Estimated costs: €1 billion playground. Brace yourself. This beast of a stadium is expected to cost between €1.5 to €2 billion. Let's put that in perspective. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, one of the most high-tech in the world, costs around €1.2 billion. The new Santiago Bernabeu renovations, over €1 billion. PSG's entire squad worth a little over €1 billion in transfer fees. So yeah, they're basically building a stadium worth more than the entire team. Let that sink in for a second. But here's the thing, PSG owners, they've got the cash. Backed by Qatar sports investments, PSG is sitting on some of the deepest pockets in football. If they want something, they throw money at it until it happens. And when it comes to football investments, these guys are not shy about spending big. A few billion euros? Just another Tuesday for these guys. Why does PSG want to own their own stadium? Now, let's talk about the real reason PSG is doing this. This isn't just about a shiny new stadium. It's about power, independence, and making some serious cash. Right now, PSG doesn't actually own Parc des Princes. They rent it from the city of Paris, which, let's be honest, is like renting an apartment when you can afford a mansion. And guess what? The rental situation is holding them back. They can't expand without government approval. They don't get full profits from stadium-related revenue. And every year, millions of euros slip away because they don't own their own home. For a club that wants to be one of Europe's biggest football giants, that is a huge problem. Owning their own stadium, more money, more freedom. If PSG does build their own stadium, here's what changes. More control over ticket prices and matchday revenue. Right now, they share revenue with the city. In their own stadium, every cent goes to PSG. More sponsorship deals and naming rights revenue. Imagine the Qatar Airways Arena or Louis Vuitton Stadium. Huge brands would pay a fortune to have their names attached to it. No city restrictions on stadium upgrades. If they want to expand, add VIP luxury suites, or build the biggest fan zone, they don't need anyone's approval anymore. Basically, PSG doesn't just want a bigger stadium, they want total control. And honestly, can you blame them? If you had Qatari billions in your pocket, would you keep paying rent, or would you build the biggest, baddest football stadium in France? Yeah, that's what we thought too. PSG's hardcore fans aren't exactly thrilled. Alright, let's be real. Not everyone is as hyped about the PSG plan to leave Parc des Princes. Sure, a 90,000-seat football palace sounds incredible on paper, but for the Ultras, the club's most hardcore diehard fans, this move is personal. Parc des Princes is more than just a stadium. For a lot of PSG fans, Parc des Princes isn't just concrete and seats. It's home. It's where generations of supporters have packed the stands, screamed their lungs out, and watched their club rise to dominance. The stadium has witnessed title wins, heartbreaks, last-minute screamers, and some of PSG's wildest moments. It's compact, intense, and loud, giving PSG one of the best atmospheres in France. More importantly, it's part of the club's identity. So yeah, the idea of abandoning it, not exactly sitting well with the Ultras. Why are fans protesting? A lot of supporters fear the new stadium will feel too corporate, like a shiny, soulless tourist attraction rather than a true football fortress. Parc des Princes has character. It's tight, electric, and built for pure football passion. A massive supermodern stadium could feel more like a business venture than a football ground. Fans worry about ticket prices skyrocketing, turning their club into an exclusive VIP experience instead of a home for the people. And let's be honest, they got a point. Can PSG win them over? Now here's the thing. If PSG plays their cards right, even the most skeptical fans might come around. If this new stadium has an insane atmosphere, we're talking a next-level acoustics, bouncing stands, and ultra-modern tifos, fans might start to feel the magic. If it's easy to get to, packed with fan-friendly features, and doesn't feel like an overpriced corporate box, that's going to help too. And if PSG keeps winning trophies, yeah, that'll make things a lot easier. But until then, expect some serious drama between the club and its most passionate supporters. Because you can build the biggest stadium in the world, but if it doesn't feel like home, does it even matter? How long will this actually take? So, PSG has huge plans, but let's be real. When will this massive stadium actually be ready? Because if history's taught us anything, it's that major construction projects and deadlines do not mix well. Well, if everything goes perfectly, and that's a big if, here's the best case scenario, the everything goes smoothly timeline. 2025 to 26, PSG chooses the final location, locks in the approvals, and probably fights off a dozen lawsuits from angry neighbors who don't want a football colossus in their backyard. 2027, construction kicks off. Bulldozers, cranes, and lots of concrete. Maybe some PSG players will even show up for a PR stunt, wearing hard hats and pretending to help. 2030 to 31. The grand opening. First match, fireworks, the whole thing. If all goes to plan, PSG will be playing in their new home by then. Sounds simple, right? Hilarious. Why this is going to take longer than expected. Let's be honest, stadium projects always face delays, and we're not talking just a few months either, we're talking years. First, there's the French government. They love a good debate. Expect endless discussion, zoning issues, and political drama before a single brick gets laid. Then you've got environmental groups. Someone will probably argue that a rare species of grasshopper lives on the land PSG wants, and suddenly we're in a legal battle over insects. And of course, construction problems. Bad weather, supply chain issues, or just a contractor who takes 5 breaks a day. All of this could slow things down. Realistic timeline? 2032, maybe even later. In a perfect world, PSG will probably be playing in their new stadium by 2030. In the real world, probably looking at 2032 or even later. So if you're a PSG fan dreaming of this super stadium, don't hold your breath. You might be watching PSG legends retire before this thing gets finished. PSG isn't just trying to build a stadium, they're trying to make history, and if they actually pull this off, their 90,000-seat Colossus will be the biggest stadium in France. Forget Parc des Princes, this will be double the size and even bigger than the Stade de France. A financial goldmine, more tickets, more VIP lounges, more sponsors, PSG's bank account about to hit ultra-rich mode. A global statement. This isn't just about League One, this is PSG saying we are here to dominate Euro football. But here's the problem, it won't be easy. The roadblocks standing in PSG's way. Finding the perfect location, logistical nightmare. Good luck finding a huge chunk of land near Paris that isn't already locked down or tangled in legal battles. Winning over fans, not happening overnight. Parc des Princes isn't just a stadium, it's home to PSG's most diehard supporters, and they're not happy about leaving. Political and legal drama? Oh, it's coming. You think a French government is just going to let PSG build a private mega stadium without a fight? Expect lawsuits, protests, and years of negotiations. So, will it happen? On paper, this sounds like a dream move for PSG. But in reality, these kind of mega projects never go smoothly. Best case scenario, PSG moves into their new home by 2030, but realistically, 2032 or later is more likely. At the end of the day, this isn't just a stadium, it's a power move, a €1 billion gamble, and a decision that could reshape PSG's future for decades. Will they pull it off? Only time will tell. Stay tuned, this story is just getting started. We're committed to dropping 2 videos a week, so don't miss out. Like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more visionary builds.